Welcome Tamers. Tonight we'll be doing another deck profile video. This one would be for the 3 Musketeers deck that came out right now in the EX07 Liberator set. We will go over the different ratios that I have for the deck, how the deck wants to work. This one is another deck that I actually have made. So I'm still figuring out what cards to take, what cards to put, but I'll be showcasing that in the next part. Go ahead and leave a like and subscribe if you haven't, and also if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those down below, and I'll see you in the next part. Alright Tamers, to start off we'll be talking about the X. We are running 4 copies of the new Cappurimon. This one's a black egg that came in the set. This one's mainly for the 3 Musketeers, and it has an inherent is your turn once per turn when effect places option cards with the 3 Musketeer traits in this Digimon solution cards, you gain a memory. So it's a good way for you to gain a memory when using the option cards from the set. So this one we would run it at 4. We don't have any effect that we would run, especially for like this line. And then moving on to our level 3s, we are running 4 copies of the new Sparrowmon. I wish this one had an alternate art, but I still like it. It's pretty cool. It's a 3 cost 1k, equals for 0 on top of a purple Digimon, and then equals for 0 on top of a 3 Musketeers in text. So our Cappurimon has 3 Musketeers, so we would evo on top of this one. And then it has a start of your main phase by placing 1 option card with the 3 Musketeer traits from your trash or hand as one of your Digimon bottom edition cards. You draw 1. And then inherent is just retaliation. So this one is a good way for you to start stacking options underneath your Digimons. It could be himself, it could be another Digimon. Sometimes they hit him in security, they go to the trash. You would promote him, start of main, tuck something underneath, right, to get that going. So we are running this at 4. Next, we're going into the Toy Agumon, the red one from the set. This one's a puppet, so it's not 3 Musketeers, but it has a 3 Musketeers in text, so it could evo on top of the Cappurimon. Same thing, it's a 3 cost 1k. This one's the searcher of the deck. It's an on play, reveal top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with 3 Musketeers in its text and 1 option card. With the use of cost of 6 among them to the hand, return to the rest of the bottom of the deck, and then your turn it gets the Digimon gets 2000 DP. So this one's the searcher of the deck. It gets you 2 hits. You're not gonna whiff on any of the hits. Sometimes you're always gonna pick up a card, just because we have a lot of 3 Musketeers in text in the deck. Especially if you get 2 hits, it's really cool. And then just giving a generic 1k DP, 2k DP is good. That way you can swing at security and not worry about dying to like a 15k, 14k Digimon. So we're running 4 of these. Next, we're running 2 copies of the black Toy Agumon from the set. Same thing as the red one, is a 3 cost or 1k. Same thing, evos for free on top of a 3 Musketeers in text. And then on play, it's a trash 1 card with the 3 Musketeer traits in your hand to draw 2. And then inherent is reboot. Reboot is really good. You're able to restand anything that you have that you don't want them opponent to kill it, so it's a good way for you to just have a restand. Also, like the pitch 1 draw 2, that's nice. You get to cycle your options into trash to draw. So we're running this one at 2. I still think the searcher is probably better because you do want to see consistent search, but this one we're running at 2. And then our final rookie, it's something that I want to playtest a little more, but we are running one of the BT6 Impmons. Is a 3 cost 2k. This one evos only on top of purple, but this one I was just thinking of hard dropping it to do the effect, which is on play, you trash 1 card in your hand. If you do, return 1 Digimon card with the 7 Great Demon Lords or 3 Musketeers and its types from your trash to your hand. So it's a good way for you to pitch those cards into trash and then pick something back that would have the 3 Musketeers in type, which I believe the in type would be everything that we have. I would have to double check on the ruling on this. But we're running this one at 1. If I were to swap this card, it'd probably be for something else, like maybe like attack option that I could run, maybe a Tamer memory setter, just because the deck doesn't have memory setters. So I could probably run that instead of this. But right now, I'm just running the 1-of. Moving on, we're going into the level 4s. And right now we are running 4 copies of the new Deputymon from the set. It's 6 cost, 6k, evils for 2 on top of red, and evils for 2 on butts at 3 musketeers in text. So we get to evo this on top of all of our level 3s, except the Impmon. And then it has a when digivolving when attacking once per turn. You may trash 1 option card and from 1 Digimon solution cards. And then your turn, Digimon gains the 3 musketeers trait. And then your turn, it's another 2k DP boost. So this one, when you digivolve, and then you already have maybe a source on the Sparrow, you get to trash that and then trigger the ability, right? When you're trashing a card, and also when you win attack. This one, the fact that you only get it if he's on the battle area, the 3 musketeers trait. I don't know if it was in the sim that I wasn't allowing me to digivolve on top of him, but I would have to double check on this one. I'm pretty sure if you have this in raising, it's your turn, it should get the effect to get the trait, but if not, it more than likely would have to be like promoting. It's on the field, it gets the trait, right? But this is something else I would need to double check. But we're running this one at 4. Next, we have 4 copies of the new Tankdramon. It's a 5 cost 5k, evils for 2 on top of black, and then the same thing, evils for 2 on top of 3 musketeers. And then on play, when digivolving, by returning 3 cards with the 3 musketeer traits from your hand or trash to the top of the deck, digivolve 1 of your opponent's Digimon, and then inherent is reboot. The fact that it digivolves just by you putting things into the top of your deck from either both hand and trash is nice. In case you promote your rookie, evo for 2, and let's say you're missing a card, you would just put it on top, or like something was trash and you need a rookie, you get to put those on the top of the deck in an order however you want. So Digivolve is a really strong mechanic. It gets around a lot of different protections unless they're protected by Digimon opponent's effects. So being able to, or Digimon effects too, but being able to do Digivolve a stack, it's really good. That way you have access to like remove it maybe. If they have partition, you get to Digivolve that stack. That way they don't get the partition effect. But we're running this one at 4. I was thinking of adding the old Deputymon, the one that lets you warp into 3 musketeers for a cost of 6, just because it allows you to go from your champion all the way into the 6, and then you're able to do your effects. The only thing I don't like about that is that you don't have access to trashing stuff, right, using options, because it mainly well, you can once you go into like the Musketeer and the other cards that'll let you search, grab cards, but the fact that he only evils over black, it's a little bad, just because we're trying to use the other different colors. Like we have the red Toyago, so maybe we need a draw, we Digivolve there, he can't evolve that. We went into Sparrowmon, we wanted to Digivolve on top of Sparrow, we can just because it's purple, so it restricts us a lot. So that's why I'm not running it, but I am thinking of maybe running 2 in case I do make some cuts here and there. But moving on, we are going into the 5s. We're running 4 copies of the new Megadramon. This one's a 7 cost 7k, evils for 3 on top of a red Digimon, and then evils for 3 on top of 3 musketeers. And then it has an on play when Digivolving, by placing 1 option card with the 3 musketeer traits from your hand or trash as this Digimon's bottom distribution card, delete one opponent's 6 Snoopy or less Digimon. And then Inheritance Piercing. This one, it's, I want to say, I don't see it as often whenever I was playtesting, but I think the fact that you're able to put stuff in trash into your sources to actually trigger the effects is good. 6 ADP is a good number in terms of the DB deletion. Sometimes they would do 5k or less, which doesn't really hit most things, most level 5s, level 4s, but 6k DP is pretty up there. The fact that you get piercing is good, so we're running this one at 4. Next, we're going into 4 copies of the new Gigadramon. It's a 7 cost 7k as well, 3 over a black level 4, and then 3 over 3 musketeers. I believe on play for this one and when Digivolving is you reveal top 4 cards of your deck. You place one option card with the 3 musketeers among them. That's the Digimon's bottom option cards. Return the rest to the top or bottom of the deck. It's the effect placed and delete one of your opponent's or Tamers with play cost 3 or less. So this, and then here it is collision. The effect is really good because you search top 4, play something underneath. If you do, you could actually pop Tamers. So in case you don't want to delete a Digimon, you just delete their Tamer. There's a lot of 3-cost Tamers right now with the Shoto, the Rissa, the Yuki, a lot of the old Tamers. So you're able to have some Tamer hate in the deck. That way you don't, maybe they have an Analog Youth, or maybe they have the Digimon Emperor. You have ways to remove those with this one. And then the fact that it has collision is good because if you pair this one up with the new Gundramon that has blocker, you could swing with Gundramon, trigger collision on the opponent. They have to block, and then you're able to like kill their sack. Or if we're even, you could trade. You have protection with the Gundramon once we get into it, and then you're able to stop that deletion, right? So this one's really good. So we're running it at 4. Then moving on, we're going into the 6s. Moving on to the 6s, we're running 4 copies of the new Beelstar Ace. This one's a 6 cost, 11k. It evolves for 3 on top of a level 5 that's purple, but if it's a 3 musketeers, it also evolves for 3, so we could go on top of the black Gigadramon and the red Megadramon. Right, and as a hand counter blast Digivolve, and on play when Digivolving, return 1 option card from your trash to the hand. It could be any option card, doesn't have to be 3 musketeers. And then you may use 1 3 musketeer trade option card from your hand without paying the cost, and then when attacking once per turn. By trashing 1 option card from this Digimon's division cards, you may use 1 3 musketeer option card from your hand without paying the cost, and then the overflow is 4. So this one lets you recycle the options that you use, right? And then you get to use one for free. And then it's when attacking is also trashing whatever you had tucked in previously to use another option from your hand. So it's a good way for you to keep using those options and then recycling them. So we're running this one at 4. Next we have 3 copies of the new Gundramon. This is a 12 cost 12k, evolves for 4 on top of a level 5 that's black, but evolves for 4 on top of any 3 musketeers, right? And then it has blocker. And then on play when Digivolving, reveal top 6 cards of your deck. You may use 1 3 musketeer trade option card from among them without paying the cost, then return the rest to the top or bottom of the deck. And then all turns when one of your 3 musketeer trade Digimon will leave the battle area other than by your effects, by trashing 1 option card from this Digimon's division cards, they don't leave. So you pair this one up with a Gigadramon to have collision blocker is really good. The fact that you get to dig 6 cards deep into your deck and then use an option, and then you get to rearrange if you want it top or bottom. If you know you don't need any of the cards, right? Or maybe let's say you whiff and you see a lot of cards that you don't need, you go ahead and bottom deck those, and then now you have a fresh start on the top of your deck once you start drawing. The alternates is just what's busted about the card because it's not once per turn. So whenever something would, if you have enough sources underneath him, you can technically protect your Digimon for as long as you can, as long as you have sources. Just because something would delete him, you trash one, leaves it, prevents it from leaving play. They target something else. Let's say your ace, trash this, trash one of their options too. Trash one of his options to prevent that from deleting it. So this one's really good. So running it at 3. Next, I'm running only 2 copies of the new Magna Kidmon. 12 cost 12k, he was for 4 on top of level 5, that's red, and then he was for 4 on top of 3 musketeers. As an on play when Digivolving, you may use 1 3 musketeers trade option card from your hand without paying the cost. Then draw cards from the top of your deck until you have 6 in your hand. And then end of your turn once per turn by trashing 1 option card from this Digimon's division cards. One of your 3 musketeer trade Digimon gets secure attack +1 for the turn and can attack. So this one allows you to use, like the other ones, an option card, and then you get to replenish your hand. So if you're running low on card size, hand size, by going into him, you get to play out an option. Cool, you play the option out, it gets stuck underneath, and then you get to draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand, right? And then end of turn would trigger if you pass turn. You could trash a card from him to give something else secure attack +1 and get to attack. So even if you have nothing else, you could give it to himself, and then you're swinging 2 checks at 12k. Depending on the TP boost you have, you might be swinging 16k, right? So I want to run more of these. I'm thinking of a different deck, running just mainly the Magna Kidmons, like 4 ofs, and then having the Deputymon and just promoting from the Deputy, warping into him, using us option card, tucking underneath, and then give him 2k and 2 checks, and then just swing in 2 checks, right? So that's something I'm working on, see if I like any of the iterations I've been making, but we're running this one at 2. Next, finally, we are running 2 copies of the Beelstarmon X Antibody, the secret from the set. It's a total cost 12k, equals for 4 on top of a purple level 5, but if you have 3 Musketeers without the X Antibody trait, it costs 1. So it equals for 1 on top of the Magna Kid, Beelstar Ace, and then the Gundramon. So it's a very cheap evo, right? And then it has a 1 Digivolving. You may use 1 option card with the 3 Musketeers in text from your hand without paying the cost. And then 1 Digivolving when attacking by trashing 2 cards with the 3 Musketeer trait from this Digimon's Digimon cards. Delete 1 of your opponent's Digimon with the highest level, and you trash the top card of the security. I do like this card. This card's pretty good. It's really good in my opinion, because 1 Digivolving, it lets you use an option card with 3 Musketeers in text, so it doesn't be in trait like the Beelstar. This one allows you to play the older 3 Musketeers cards, like Fly Bullet, and then the black and the red option. I don't know their names. And then also the fact that you can do it, you trash to delete the highest level, trash the security, and it's not once per turn, so you could do it when you Digivolve. And then if you cap turn, you just swing. If you have 4 sources, you're doing 2 at the beginning. On the swing, you do another 2. That's already 2 security that you're trashing. So I really like this card. They're a little too pricey right now, so I only have 2, and I think the deck, most run lists that I've seen only run the 2, so I am trying it at 2. Next, we're going into our options. We're running 4 of every option in the set. So we have 4 copies of the black option, their Blitz, the 6 cost option, and then has a effect that is when effects trash this card from the Digimon cards, the Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, and then while you have a 3 Musketeer trait Digimon, you may ignore this card's color requirement. Then it has a different main, which is the one you're going to be using if you use it from hand. So delete 1 of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost, and you place those cards at the bottom Digimon cards on one of your 3 Musketeer Digimon. And then secure effect is delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. This one's really good because when you trash it, you get to Digivolve something on their side. Digivolve, like I mentioned, is a really strong mechanic. The fact that you can trash this off one of your effects and then just Digivolve a stack. If you hard play from hand, you are popping the lowest play cost, but if they only have like an ace or something that they played and you know they have nothing in the back, give them 6, pop that sack, and then tuck it underneath, right? And then you're able to use it when you go into a different Digimon. So we're running this one at 4. And then next we're going into the red option, which is Chaos Triangular. It is a 6 cost option as well. And then this one, the effect is when you trash it, you give one of your Digimon 3000 DP until the end of the opponent's turn. And then if you have a 3 Musketeer trait Digimon, you don't ignore color requirements, right? And then it has the main, which is delete 1 of your opponent's Digimon with 9k DP or less. For each of your 3 Musketeer trait Digimon with different names, you add 3000 to this DP deletion effects maximum, then place this card's bottom division cards, and then security is delete 1 of your opponent's Digimon with 12k DP or less. Getting that extra 3k DP until the end of the opponent's turn is really good because you could make your Gundramon 15k, so you have a 15k blocker. You can swing 2 checks at 15k with the Magna Kid if you have no DP inherits. Also, you get to pop a singular Digimon up to I want to say 12k DP. If you only have 2 things on the field, you would do so 9, you go to 12k, and then the other one you go up to 15k, right? But unfortunately, like I think if you have a Toei Agus, or if you have I think only trait Digimon would be the Deputymon, the red one, and then the level 6s. So at most you're doing 12k to something. And then the security effect is really cool. It's minus 12k. It's most stacks without any DP. I think they're all running like 12k. So this one's really good. We're running this one at 4. And then the last option is the purple option, Hurricane's Coup Shot. It's a 6 cost. And then when you trash this one from a Digivolution card, you gain a memory. And then main is delete one of your opponent's level 3, level 4, and level 5 Digimon, then you place this underneath. And then security is the same effect. You would delete a level 3, level 4, and a level 5. This one's good because it gains you that memory when you use it. And well, not when you use it, but when you trash it, you gain that memory. And then it does hit a lot, like 3 different Digimons. If they have like one of each, you pretty much hit the jackpot. You're hitting 3 things. It sucks that it doesn't hit a level 6. So if they have a level 6, you can't really pop it. It's just there. If they hit in security, they only have a level 6 that's swinging. If it's a Magna, it doesn't kill it, so they get to trigger their protection. So I think this one, they should have made the security inherent, at least delete one of your opponent's highest level play cost or something, kind of like the Beelstar X Antibody. That way it hits everything, right? Even though you're playing it for 6, you're popping up to 3 things, and then if they hit in security, it deletes like the highest thing, right? That would have been like a good card. But that is it for all the cards in the deck. A few honorable mentions would be running Shoto Kazama from the EX7, because it gives your Digimon blocker for the turn. So if you have multiple bodies, you could end turn suspend him, give something blocker. You can do the effect of the Magna Kid to raise the DP if you have the red option. Another one that you could run would be the mat, the memory setter mat, that on play you can return a purple option or purple Digimon card back to your hand. So you get to bring most of the stuff from the trash. So you have any options, you get to bring those back. A good way for you to recycle. Then other things you could try to take in maybe would be like Digimon Emperor, just because everything right now has a lot of rookie rush stuff. There's a lot of SR rookies that are promoting. A lot of the decks want to stay, let's say for Safagamon, they want to stay in the new Palmon, the BT14 Palmon, promote, tag something, go into Palmon X to suspend and gain the memory. So by you having those Digimon Emperors, it stops that from happening. Other techs I was thinking would probably be maybe running some of the previous 3 Musketeer options, just because the Beelstar X can actually use them, because they have 3 Musketeers in text. So you have ways to use those options. And that is it for tonight's deck profile video on the 3 Musketeers deck. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next profile video. Peace.